If you want to know what's hot and innovative at Stanford University, you've come to the right place. I'm Theresa with Vader TV, and today, to give us a sneak peek on Entrepreneurship Week, I'm here with Tina Seelig, Executive Director of Stanford Technology Ventures Program. Hi, Tina. Thanks for being with us.
It's my pleasure.
So, can you give us sort of an overview? What's the theme of this year's Entrepreneurship Week?
The theme this year is Make It Happen.
Make it happen.
Yeah, and the reason we picked that theme is that entrepreneurship is about doing stuff. It's not just about planning and thinking about it, it's actually implementing.
So, what sort of events are taking place that are going to get people going?
Great. We've got an entire menu of things going on this week. Many of them are really, really interactive. In addition to the traditional panels and speakers, we have a lot of activities that actually get the participants engaged. Some of them are networking events where people can meet each other, but others are brainstorming workshops. One of them is at the medical school, going to be focused on juvenile obesity, and people are actually coming up with ideas on how to solve this really complicated problem.
That's fantastic, and that brings me to another point. Social entrepreneurship is all of a sudden a big deal. Even Bill Gates was here talking about social entrepreneurship and philanthropy. Have you seen any sort of trends, or do you predict any sort of trends about social entrepreneurship coming from Stanford?
Really, really good question. I have some somewhat controversial points of view on this.
Oh, good.
First of all, there is definitely a huge increase in interest from students in social entrepreneurship. And I think that comes from the fact that people really want to have a positive impact on the world. My point of view, though, is I don't think that has to happen outside of the context of a traditional business. And I think that traditional businesses have many, many opportunities to be socially responsible. And that comes in lots of different flavors. So I hope someday we don't define entrepreneurship as traditional entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship, but at some point those two will meld, and we'll look at entrepreneurs in general as those people who are really making positive social change in the world.
That's fantastic. So it's good to know that'll be implemented in this Entrepreneurship Week with the obesity workshop. So if a student could only come to one event the entire week, they're super busy, they're an engineering student, senior year, what would that one event be?
Gosh, I would ask people to come to the kickoff event on the first day. Let me tell you what's going to happen.
Okay.
First of all, we have President John Hennessy, who is not only president of the university, but also a very successful entrepreneur who's going to be welcoming everyone. We also are going to be showing the film Imagine It, which is a story of the Innovation Challenge that we gave last year. And there were teams from across Stanford and also from around the world participating in the challenge. Essentially, we gave every team one pack of Post-its, and they had to create value measured in whatever way they wanted in only 5 days.
Wow.
And this movie captures all the stories around the world. It's really, truly remarkable. And after the movie, we are going to launch the new challenge for this year.
Wow, that's fantastic. Really interesting stuff. So also, I want to talk a little bit about your other roles here at Stanford. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. My day job here at Stanford is as the Executive Director of the Stanford Technology Ventures Program. And the Stanford Technology Ventures Program is the entrepreneurship center for science and engineering at Stanford University. We are hosted by the Department of Management, Science and Engineering in the whole School of Engineering. But in addition, I have lots of other wonderful roles that I play.
Many hats.
Many hats. I teach a course on creativity and innovation in organizations. I also am the director of the Stanford Entrepreneurship Network, which is a campus-wide organization that in fact is directing and running and hosting Entrepreneurship Week.
So it sounds like you work quite a bit with students.
You bet.
So what sort of trends have you seen over the last 2 to 3 years in the sort of entrepreneurship coming from students at Stanford? Have they gotten better? Have they gotten savvier? What have you seen?
Well, first of all, entrepreneurship is in the air at Stanford. It's something that is, we live and breathe every day, and it's something that makes the entire university very exciting. In fact, it's really funny because every student I talk to is off starting something, whether it's a new club or a new company. They're always thinking of ways to solve problems, which is terrific. But something has happened over the last few years that's been very exciting, and that gets back to your issue about social entrepreneurship. People are looking at entrepreneurship as a way to really solve big problems, not as a way to make a lot of money quick. In fact, to be perfectly honest, since most ventures do fail, if you want to make a lot of money, starting a company is probably not the most risky way to try to do that. And so students are realizing that entrepreneurship is a way that they can have a really positive social impact on the world, and are looking at problems and seeing them as ways for them to come up with creative solutions.
So it's a way to solve problems, no longer a way to just get rich quick.
Exactly.
And so what do you predict in the next 2 to 3 years? What sort of things do you think will be coming out of Stanford? Any particular projects?
I certainly couldn't point to anything specific, but I know there's a tremendous interest in green technology. There's a tremendous interest in life science, biotechnology, and there's also a lot of interest in the future of education. And I think in those areas we're going to see a lot of really, really interesting developments.
Well, fantastic. Well, come learn a lot about green tech, about entrepreneurship at Stanford at this year's Entrepreneurship Week starting this Friday. Thank you, Tina.